When a woman rejects a man because he's broke, she's just smart because that dude won't guarantee the highest degree of survival. But when a man rejects a woman or doesn't wife her out because she's got a certain past plus a bunch of contacts, he's insecure. They'll say that what's done is done, but the present is just a byproduct of past choices. That's why smart men hit the gym and, yeah, hardly marry women who racked up dozens of bodies. These women got really schooled. Take a look.
Okay, you're overcomplicating things. Again, everyone's overcomplicating things. I don't think anyone wants to sleep with a woman or settle down with a woman who has 80 bodies. That's disgusting.
How am I overcomplicating? I'm breaking down why.
I know you're breaking it down, but it's something that doesn't need to be broken down. Most people, if they hear that you have 80 bodies, they'll be like,
that's good.
I bet you fucking have.
Let me tag something on at the end of that there. The reason why men have a sexual, I won't say revulsion response, because there's a human revulsion response, but it's intense for certain things, like you want to get away from a dead body. Like you want to get away from a dead body. You want to get away from things that smell, like feces. Fear of heights. There are things that human beings are instinctually want to get themselves away from, okay? When you're looking for, when a woman, it seems like she's easy, or she's had 80 bodies, or she has children from another man, there is a hesitation in men that is instinctual. And the reason for that is because that woman represents a bad bet for his paternity. That's why the body count matters to guys, and it doesn't matter quite as much to women. For a guy who has a high body count, I believe it was Sterling who was saying this, is that that is like one of the highest ways of demonstrating higher value, or pre-selection, that's what it was. Because if a guy knows his way around your body better than you do, you know he fucks. You know that he has been rewarded by other women who have had sex with him in the past, enough so he has the experience to know what he's doing in the bedroom.
Right.
So there's that aspect. But then the other part of it is this, is that the reason why promiscuity works one way for men and it does not work for women is because of that paternity. It's the understanding and the ascertaining whether or not the child is his child. Because since we were living in hunter-gatherer groups on the sub-Saharan African plains,
until 1980.
Yeah, until we could actually have
DNA
tests,
paternity tests.
Yeah, so men have, it's been in our biological, evolutionary, innate interests to know or to try to ascertain whether or not the baby is our baby. So that's why men mate guard. That's why when women and men get jealous because of infidelity, men tend to focus on the physical act. Did you have sex with him in the bathroom? Did he have a bigger than I did? Did you get off? Those are the particulars that guys want to know when infidelity takes place. When a woman gets jealous because of infidelity, it's, do you love her? Am I losing my investment? Is my long-term security with this guy, is that in danger? That's where that jealousy comes from. So there's differences because men and women are different, and we have different priorities when it comes to reproduction as well as family creation as well. So when we're talking about 80 bodies, when you say, hey, I've had 80 guys, that's a pool of 80 men in which one of those guys, or probably some of those guys, could have been the guy that you can't get over. Or maybe he's the guy that, whether he did or he didn't, doesn't make any difference, but he's still thinking, like on a hindbrain, lizard brain level, that there's a possibility that she was impregnated by one of these guys and she can't get over that guy. You're a bad bet for my paternity.
Yeah, sure.
Your response?
I just love that we revert to these primordial justifications for wanting a woman with a low body count when guys are fucking with condoms.
Where else would you go with it?
When guys find it hot when girls are on birth control. If guys' main prerogative is to spread their seed, then why is it they're looking for women who are on birth control? They're attracted to women with IUDs.
They're not.
It's not an intellectual.
I didn't say it was.
They're not.
I'm saying we use biology as an excuse when in reality biology refers to life and life's processes, and our capacity for culture falls under biology. Our development of paternity tests, birth control, condoms, that all falls under biology and our capacity for culture.
Culture is downstream from biology. You don't get society, you don't get social construction without biology first that drives that.
Yeah, I think you're over intellectualizing a lot of this. Like you said, it could be boiled down to biology.
That's not a response.
Well, no, I just think that...
It is a response, but your question is it right? And his response is, this is why it is. So the problem is, what people will do is they'll say, this man is just what is this, a small dick energy or whatever thing that they have to say to make or denigrate men for having some sort of preference. And the reality is these things happen because men have 17 times as much testosterone as women, and throughout our evolutionary history, we are the ones that were the disposable gender. And because of that, we compete with other men for women. The men who make it to the top throughout history have had more sexual partners. That's just the way that it's been. It's not an excuse. If you have every right to think it's wrong if you want to think it's wrong, but it's not hypocritical because we're different. If you and I were to join the Marine Corps, I have to do more push-ups than you because the world is different for men than it is for women. If you and I were to join the fire department, I have to do more pull-ups than you because men and women are different.
That final part is all you gotta hear. I mean, it's all about equality and I can do what men do, right until women have to do as many push-ups and pull-ups as men. Anyway, the biological factor can never be neglected because it's just how humans are hardwired. Just like women are programmed to get the best man possible, aka hypergamy, men are programmed to look for low body count. Modest women because that will help them make sure the child is theirs. Let's take a look at the comments. You can't convince this woman because if you did, she'd have to accept that she will never get a man of value. She'll never accept it because the consequences of that realization will be too much to handle. You are fighting against a self-defense coping mechanism which prevents a breakdown, despair, etc., plus giving up her lifestyle. I think pair bonding is another big reason why it matters more to men than to women. If a woman has lots of sexual partners, she loses her ability to pair bond. My husband and I waited until we were married to have sex, and he is my whole world. I literally got anxiety attacks when I think about something bad happening to him. I pray for his safety every day, and I ask to God to please bless us with a long life together. I'd rather die than divorce him. That's pair bonding. I love him so intensely and so deeply that I don't see or notice other men. Seeing an attractive man is no different than when I see an attractive woman. It's like, oh, that's a person with symmetrical features. The end. This is the normal way to feel with your husband. This is how it should be, but promiscuous women have destroyed their ability to experience this. So no wonder men don't want to settle down with these women. These are the women who will always be looking for greener grass, and as my husband always says, if you want greener grass, water your own grass. This young is upset that the driver behind men's low body count preference is biological, seeming to imply that men should just rationalize their way out of their instincts. I guarantee that she has never once questioned her biologically driven attraction triggers, money, muscles, height, etc., and would be appalled if someone suggested that she can make her own money now and there are police to protect her, so she should just date short, fat, and broke dudes. The narcissistically driven entitlement idiocy of these people is mind-boggling to me. The whoreization of modern women is so severe to the point that men are expected to put up with not being able to ensure paternity. She doesn't like primordial justifications when men use it to select partners, but she loves using it when she picks men taller than her and stronger than her. Had feelings for a girl, found out she had one-night stands with two of my buddies. My feelings for her died right in front of me, and I never saw her the same. Sheesh. Serious question. Will the delusion of modern women ever stop? I mean, they've got nothing or little to bring to the table, but sometimes they want top-tier men and top earners without bringing anything to the table. In other words, there's no fair exchange of value. Take a look.
Man of your dreams, $50K per year. Are you taking him?
Absolutely not. Like a good
so
father
how much
to
should
your
your
children.
husband make?
My husband?
Yeah.
I'm 20.
Your 50K is not enough, so how much?
At least $1 million a year.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
that's okay.
What traits would you bring to the table to keep that going?
Well, of course, loyalty. You know, I'm an attractive woman, so of course I would attract a man like that. Okay. And family values, morality. I come from a good family. I'll take cooking classes. I don't know how to cook, but I'll take cooking classes.
No. Okay.
I don't know what else to say. What else do you need?
So, do you think that deserves an $1 million man?
Yeah. Why not?
You don't even know how to cook.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I said I'll take cooking classes.
She dares to say, absolutely not, even if the guy's the man of her dreams. This proves once again that women don't fall in love with a man's potential, but rather with what he already is. Doesn't matter how ambitious you are as a man, if you're broke, women won't even consider you. However, when a woman is poor but brings good traits to the table like respect, loyalty, and listening skills, you might find her more desirable than a boss babe with a high body count and an IG page with thousands of followers. She asks for $1 million man as if making $1 million was the easiest thing to do. She can go and marry a central banker if she values money that much. $50K might not be enough to travel out of the States every weekend, but at least a man can provide for her and secure her a decent lifestyle. But these chicks want their city girl's lifestyle and be a trophy wife despite not being that valuable in the eyes of men. When asked what she brings to the table, she has a hard time finding traits. She even admits that she doesn't cook but would take cooking classes. She doesn't meet that bare minimum requirement, so the man cannot get a homemade dinner once he gets back home from work. She ain't no wife material. My dog will display more loyalty even when I only have $5. A dog will be far more loyal than a chick because once she finds someone better and or you fail to be excellent, she's free to exercise her options without remorse. A dog, though, just wants some cuddling, food, and your mere presence to be happy. For $1 mil, she offers loyalty until the guy with 1.5 mil or more shows up. Female hypergamy is at an all-time high. Now with social media, these chicks believe they're entitled to guys like Ronaldo, LeBron James, and whatnot. No wonder why they're single and, most importantly, unable to have a healthy, long-term relationship. No woman at 20 years old who hasn't done anything worthwhile in her life demanding her husband make $1 million a year cannot possibly come from a good family. A good family would have taught her how to be a good wife, but there she is demanding the moon, the stars, and the entire universe. They're all about the money and not about giving men what they want because, you know, a man's opinions doesn't matter to these girls. If I told you that sometimes women listen and agree with you when you speak facts, would you believe that? Take a look.
Literally, how you feel about putting a for sale sign on your car is how men feel about their women. And I would argue it's not insecure to be that way. If anything, it's insecure for me to tolerate that because I'm scared that you'll leave me. So I'm insecure about where I stand in the relationship. But if I'm secure in the relationship, I'll tell you to your face, I don't like that. And I'm okay with you leaving. I'm very secure myself. But women try to flip it around and say, you telling me that you have boundaries and standards and all this other stuff is insecure. It's actually the opposite. Very secure because he's telling you, I don't like this, and he's willing to let you walk away. Fantastic.
The evidence was so strong that they couldn't help but agree. We live in times of female liberation and all this kind of stuff that is hurting men and inflating women's egos. Women go out there, dress provocatively, and behave badly even when they're in a committed relationship. The thing is that most men don't enforce their boundaries, so these women feel like they can do whatever they want without fearing the consequences. However, when a man is secure of himself, he knows what he wants and, just like women do, pulls out his long list of requirements, which in fact tends to be a huge win for the woman. Men with standards look for modesty, women who don't hit the club and have no male friends, femininity, etc. If a girl doesn't tick just one of the boxes, she's out. Women love shit-testing men, but once they come across a guy sure of his standards, a woman is either disgusted because she wants to be quote-unquote free or strongly attracted to him. Either way, your standards are obviously sacred, and I'm sure you keep them high. Let's take a look at the comments. Their silence was so loud. That's a perfect oxymoron. You know perfectly that women have a strong need of being right, but shockingly, this time they listened and agreed to the simple yet powerful truth of why men enforce boundaries. Women know it's not insecurity. They say that shit as a form of manipulation. Exactly. It's nothing but a shit test. The problem is that you gotta learn womanese before participating in the dating scene. Otherwise, you get played and cheated on. Thankfully, thanks to this content, you're learning a bit of womanese anyway, right? They just had their minds blown. Maybe my ex wasn't insecure after all. Her exes might have wished the best for her, but she looks like she would rather marry her IG page and all the DMs she gets on the regular. But that has an end since beauty, youth, and fertility doesn't last forever. Back in the day, women would show off their husbands and kids, but now they show off how wanted they are. By wanted, I mean just for bedroom purposes and that's it. Take a look.
I know a lot of unhappy men in relationships right now with 21 and 22-year-olds. So, baby, please don't listen to him. Because at the end of the day,
I'm not worried
yourself
about
happy. You make yourself happy. That's the only thing that matters.
Dog fart advice. She's 34 and single.
And I'm happy, baby.
If you say so.
Stop the cat.
Mad guys after me.
Yeah,
ain't giving them time
that don't mean nothing.
Having guys after you that want sex is nothing to flex
They already
about.
got sex.
Yeah, of course.
And they still want me. What? So what?
They want you for more sex.
They already got sex. It's been years. It's been years of sex, and they still want me.
They want more sex.
What?
They want more sex.
Why they want it from a 34-year-old when they can get it from a 21-year-old?
Because the value's not high enough to get the 24-year-old.
Thank you. It's easy.
Yeah,
so they gotta,
it's easy because of that.
Because
men only look at women for looks.
She's 34 years old and single, but that's not everything. She's masculine, proud of her rotation of men, and showing off how happy she is with her current lifestyle. It's not as if the guys behind her are fighting against each other to end up with her in the altar. Not at all. They just want to end up with her in bed, try different positions, and leave it at that. Oh, and if they come back, it's just because the is good, so they want some more. Women used to be more modest in the past, and although they were just as hypergamous as they are today, they looked for a guy to show him off to her female friends and even society. The man was respected, and she was happy that she got a good husband. In contrast, modern women show off how good they're in bed, how many men desire them sexually, and how happy they are fighting against fictitious ideas such as the patriarchy. It's been years of and they still want me, she said. Good for you! Who knows what your notch count is and how low your value can get after banging men left and right. All in all, the men in her rotation are not trying to wife her up, but rather use her recreationally. She might realize her lifestyle is not good for her, but it looks like the side effects of hitting the wall are severe. Let's take a look at the comments. They go for the same reason a stray cat goes to an easily available food source. Have you ever wondered why a bag of Cheetos is cheaper than a bag of walnuts? Yeah, Cheetos are damn good and accessible, but they're not healthy at all. This girl is like a bag of Cheetos because she's cheap and every guy in the hood has had a taste of her. They already got she says this proudly even though it clearly identifies her as someone who has been plowed again and again with no sign of a ring. She's pretty much showing off how promiscuous she is. As mentioned before, back in the day, women would show off their husbands to get status, but these days, having a high body count and even a whole waiting list and rotation of men is a better option to be deemed as a successful woman. This is the era of decay, guys. Is she actually flexing that guys keep getting sex from her without commitment? Boy, they really don't get it, do they? She's being used over and over again and seems very happy with her choices. Her beauty will fade away sooner or later, and since her eggs will be hardly functional, only simps will want to wife her up after she's been run through by the entire block. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.